Lord, I just got finished watching episode 2 of Loki. And I have to really say this. That episode literally was the coolest shit ever. And it made the California heat wave that I'm having right now, especially in California where I'm at, it made it so much more bearable. Because this shit was ice cold cool this episode. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your girl Crow here, speaking with books, rants, movies, and more. Welcome to Let's Be Honest, where we get honest with everything. And boy, we need to get honest with fucking Loki episode 2. This shit was fire. And ahead of time, excuse me, I have my fan on if you hear this whirling sound, because boy oh boy, we just are having like a little mini heat wave here in Southern California, and it is just like starting to get abysmal at this point. So if you hear that little sound and that little whirling, you know, forgive me for that. But I got me a couple of ice cold beers and some water, because this is a mouthful and I may need to hydrate. Episode 2 of Loki was just lit. I am going to be giving you guys a little bit of spoilers. So, if you guys want to skip to a certain time or whatever, I will try to pace myself within this rant a little bit better, to where if you want to just go ahead and skip a certain kind of number, let me know, or I will put a big ass trigger warning or warning sign to kind of let you guys know if you don't want to be engaged in spoilers. But like I said, I do have a Discord open to where you can find me, to where we can to where if you want to watch a Loki and you don't have the necessary means, or you don't feel like it's worth it to spend $7.99 on just watching one show, I do have a Discord open where I show the previous 2 episodes every Saturday. Or sometimes Sunday. So if you want to, feel free to join the Discord, let me know. All the above. It is a Lovecraft Country and Crow's Corner kind of Discord, but yeah, it's very LGBTQ plus friendly. Happy Pride Month, everybody. To all my fam, love you guys. So we will be doing that as well too, because I don't feel like in my possible feature, if I can afford, or I want to waste my money on Disney Plus and people don't, I don't feel like other people should have to pay so they can, or get viruses on their computer to where they so they can just watch this show, and it's only 6 episodes. That's BS as far as I'm concerned. But we will be trying to link that in the description below. Shout out to my editor Carrie, Yashu's Playground, all the above. But we are here to talk about Loki. Okay, I have to be quite honest, this episode was a shocker at the end. It literally fulfilled every deviant art, Pinterest, and fucking Google picture search fantasy that I've ever fucking had. So, long story or short synopsis of this chapter. Right now they're still looking for the fake Loki. Loki ends up going on a mission where he ends up stalling time, actually. My girl Wumni is looking so excellent and crisp and cut on this, and she just is still this hard ass that just does not want to deal with Loki. I can just see a lot of familiarity between these 2 characters and how they're dealing with each other, because, you know, if you guys, you know, do not know about a little bit about Loki, or about Loki and the show and what it's about, or a little bit of history, just a little bit of history. Tom Hiddleston, or Hiddleston, I suck at his name. Tom Hiddleston and Wumni were in acting classes together at one point in time in their life. So when you look at this dynamic between them, it's just like looking at, oh, these are old classmates doing an old classmate project again. So it becomes really bearable and wonderful, and it's great and glad to see this kind of situation. But so far, there is a thing where Loki is casted on a mission. Now, mind you, it does start off with this shadowy figure who they believe is Loki, in 1985 during a fake medieval setting, and she ends up taking out I actually spoiled a little bit. They end up taking out some agents and shit. So they end up taking them out and everything like that. And they end up taking all these time reset fuses. So we fast forward to Loki, and Loki is getting the hang of it. He's done his training for everything, and he's done all this cool shit, you know, and he's just like, oh, I'm fucking above it at this point. But a commander of the squadron that was sent in 1985 to reset the timeline because of the variant Loki being there, they end up going missing. So Loki's called in along with Agent Mobius, aka my nigga Owen Wilson. They come in to investigate. My baby, like I said, Wumni, looking crisp as fuck, saying hell nah, Loki is shit. And there you go. So they go in, investigate. Long story short, Loki ends up failing his first mission. He's not able to detect anything, and Owen Wilson kind of gets fried by the head lady named Ravonna. I think her name's Ravonna. I suck at names, I really do, so forgive me, y'all. Ooh, that beer just hits so crisp and cool down my throat. But Ravonna, she's kind of like, yo, why the fuck are you trusting Loki? And Loki ain't shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're out here risking your neck for some shit, you know? So, long story short, that shit is, you know, what happened. So, how do you call it? We still get this weird kind of faction of, we don't know if Loki is a good guy or a bad guy or whatever he is. And we know, of course, Loki is full of shit. I swear to God, he's full of shit. Loki is literally full of shit, you know, but Loki has some bright points. That's the thing I love about Loki in general with this show, is that in Loki in general as a character, and all of us love Loki, you know, of course, with the Norse mythology and the lovely fact that Loki is the father of one of my most favorite Norse entities within Asgard and all of the realm. He's, you know, he is father to Fenrir, but not Fenrir that's on Ragnarok. That is completely Hellas kind of deal. But there are some callbacks to Thor Ragnarok, which I loved. Thor Ragnarok, that was one of my favorite out of the Thor series. Thor Ragnarok was just tremendous. I swear I loved it. So, you know, the thing with Thor and everything, it was that kind of whole situation where, you know, there's a lot of callbacks to Thor Ragnarok, and what ends up happening is that Loki ends up, discovering that the time variant is hiding in destruction and doing all this kind of destruction. Like, so pretty much say if Hiroshima and Nagasaki were getting ready to get bombed, a Loki would come moments before Hiroshima and Nagasaki were to get bombed, cause all this destruction, cause all this havoc, steal shit, do whatever the fuck they want, and you know, fuck off into the sunset before the bombs drop. It doesn't disturb the timeline. So we get a little bit of time equality, you know, kind of time equations and how time flows and how it's different, because it's like really interesting and creative how they were able to come up with this, because time, I have to say it like this, when it comes to like time machines, essence and stories with time, it's either it's a flop or it's a miss. Okay, I have to be quite honest. Either you can have a storyline that has a good time travel in it and it will tie up the loops and things perfectly, but the situation with time travel stories is often it gets rammed up the ass or sidelined by a lot of open plot lines, and it leaves a lot of fans kind of like disconjointed or pondering about certain things, or it actually can sometimes bore certain audiences. So there has to be a certain taste, or je ne sais quoi, if I may say, of viewers who will like time travel, because time travel, like I said, you either can mess up the storyline or not. But long story short, Loki does find out what ends up happening. They go to Alabama in like 2050 or some shit like that. I can't remember. I can't believe Alabama is actually standing in 2050. No offense to some of my viewers who like are from Alabama, but Lord Jesus, that place was still standing. Oh my Lord. Wow. But long story short, they do track the variant to the superstore where they're hiding because of a storm, because it becomes this massive kind of apocalyptic event. Like I said, this variant hides in apocalyptic events. So long story short, this is the part that really killed me a lot of the time, because I was so scared for my baby Wumni, who is Hunter B15. I was so fucking scared for her, because they tapped into their old Lovecraft Country roots and kind of made her a villain. I was like, wait, she was the villain all along? But then I had to remember, like, oh yeah, this variant jumped from body to body. And it does become apparent later when they track them in the superstore that this variant jumps from body to body to body. But at first, my black ass was about to be like, oh, hell no. I was about to start fighting niggas at Disney and be like, hey, man, you made my baby Wumni a villain, because you can't just sit there and do that. Like, I literally was out here in these streets and getting ready to fight. But thank God, it just turned out that it was the female Loki. And it was this thing where they had to pretty much, they pretty much bounced off. But I will like to say it like this, if I did spoil it just moments ago. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Yeah, it ends up becoming this thing where Loki, or this Loki, whoever this Loki is a gender swapped version of him. And it has fulfilled every dream that I've ever wanted to fucking encounter. First of all, it's not like it came out of surprise, because they did foreshadow it that any Loki can look any kind of way, especially in the beginning of the story. So needless to say, when I found out that Loki, or this hooded figure, ended up being a female Loki, I lost it so bad. I was like, oh my God, it's female Loki. And I was like, no, but I was like, no, but yes. Because I was like, no, because I'm like, oh my God, if anybody knows how Loki's bad traits are, she's even worse. Like, she'll be worse or just as equally bad. And I'm just like, oh, she's gonna be vain, criticizing, self-indulgent, all the above. She's gonna be literally the carbon copy of Loki, but I kind of don't think she is. But the hooded figure who ended up being female Loki, I kind of had guessed that it may have been a female from the first episode, when they were in the little field of fire thing, towards the end of the first episode chapter, because it's like, this person's silhouette looks like a woman's silhouette. But I didn't want to like jump to no conclusions or nothing, and it was kind of hard for me to see, even kind of looking and rewinding back. So I didn't mention it in the other video that I thought that could have possibly been a female Loki. So we ended up just getting this fact where female Loki ends up just like literally bombing the timeline. The timeline has to be linear, but then when she sends all these like time reset things, she ends up literally bombing the shit out of the timeline. Now that part seemed confusing to me slightly, but I have to rewatch it again because I'm kind of stupid. I mean, I'm stupid, but sometimes I had to replay stuff. Like I said, the situation with time control and time and time machine kind of storylines, sometimes I won't get it all the way. But long story short to this, I enjoyed very much so this episode. The reveal of the female Loki was just wild as fuck. I was just like, No fucking way. Like, no way. This episode was badass. In a sense of, we got to see a little bit of Loki and his regret with Ragnarok, and how the destruction of Asgard had how it had affected him, how that really had affected him, seeing his home that he grew up in, whether he was from Jotunheim or Asgard or wherever the situation, seeing how that affected him. But then towards the end, when you see him chase after female Loki, or I don't know if he chases or if he escapes with her, when you see that kind of situation, it's kind of like, well, here comes Loki going up to his old bullshit. But I want to kind of hope that he's on the side of good for this situation, because I'm not gonna lie, female Loki said, fuck this nigga, I'm not working with him. And Loki don't like when you disagree with him. So yeah, it's one of those situations where we gotta see how these two end up we gotta see how these two end up merging together, because Loki does have a deal to kind of meet the not the Eternals, I forgot their fucking name, I'm getting mixed up, pretty much the elders, the leaders of the sacred timeline, the people who created things. They claim that they're lizard people, which is kind of funny, and it's a play on Illuminati kind of conspiracies, and it cracks me the fuck up. But the lizard people who made the sacred timeline. So he's trying to get his way to see them, so his ass could sit his ass up, so his ass can really sit up there and try to take over, because it wouldn't be Loki without Loki trying to take over shit. But I think that's gonna fail miserably and horribly, because Agent Mobius, and every agent over there is an extension in some kind of way of these creators of the sacred timeline. So I don't think that Loki would get away with it, because they already, like, Mobius kind of already knows what he's gonna do and how he's gonna do it. But I feels like that logic kind of got thrown out the fucking window, because on the first episode they kind of knew what Loki was gonna do and how he was gonna do it. But Loki is a variant that kind of does not fluctuate in time accordingly, even with his actions as the Loki that we know. I know I'm starting to get confused with this. I feel like that math lady that's on that meme where she's just trying to figure shit out, and I'm trying to figure shit out without confusing myself or giving myself a headache. But overall, this was an excellent chapter. I loved Wumni. I love to see Wumni get back in her little old school evil roots. I like that little pull out that she did a Lovecraft Country. I was like, oh my god, it's like, is she the nigga that betrayed them all? I can't do with this. I can't deal with it. I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, like, I just cannot deal with another evil Wumni. But Disney did her so well. They're doing her justice. They're doing this black woman justice, and I am loving how Disney is, and I'm so happy that she's getting her fucking coins the way she deserves. She's getting her coins as a beautiful black full figure woman. And I remember getting on a Facebook group chat where somebody saying, why does Wummi's back look like it hurts so much? And I'm like, well, nigga, it hurts so much because she's carrying this whole fucking show. Like, that's why her fucking back hurts. But overall, Loki episode 2 was very, very good. I am still in this. I'm trying to see what's going to happen next. Is female Loki and him going to are they going to deal with certain things? There was a lot of callbacks to Ragnarok and shit. Infinity Stones. Maybe we can see this is how the Infinity Stones kind of make their way into the universe, and maybe we can see what Ragnarok, if Ragnarok will come back. And if Ragnarok does come back, that means I believe her name was Hela. That means Hela will come back. And I'm not gonna sit there and lie, I Hela on Ragnarok was defeated way too motherfucking easily. I loved Ragnarok, but she was defeated way too fucking easily for my liking. Especially being the baddest bitch to literally overwhelm Thor and almost kill Thor. So the whole situation of it is, what I'm trying to figure out is, will Hela make her return? I want to know that very well, because I'm just dying to know, like, if she's going to be back. I mean, she's literally the baddest bitch like ever. I'm sorry, like, Black Widow looks like a ballerina with like narcolepsy. I'm not gonna sit there and lie, compared to Hela. Like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm not fucking sorry, but I'm sort of sorry, but no. But I loved Hela. So hopefully, if they fuck around with the timeline just a little bit, we get to see Hela, and hopefully we get to see Hela in her big ass King of Wolves Fenrir, because I love Fenrir. He's one of my favorites out of Norse mythology, along with Valder and all of them. So I hope we get a little bit more. The soundtrack was phenomenal, especially on the more hitting number parts, and I want to see how they could develop this in 6 episodes. I mean, they do have an hour, but I still say 6 episodes is still not enough, and 12 needs to happen, period. That's just me. But I hope you guys like this review. I will be keeping up with it. We still have literally 4 more reviews to go, and let me know for whatever you want to see next down in the comment section. Even though technically it looks like a ghost town, but the subscriptions are way better to me than the whole commentary section, to be honest. But let me know, comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's get this train going. Hit your views, all the above. Let me know what's going on with this, because I have some theories, and like I said, I think Hela's coming back. I don't know if she's gonna come back, but Ragnarok was dropped so fucking much, and I need to know. I just need to know. Like a Mark Anthony song, I need to know. So let me know, baby girls and baby boys, what we need to know. All right then, shout out to my editor Carrie. Thank you guys. Like I said, like, comment, like, subscribe. I cannot help enough. Thank you so much to my Discord community, to my subscribers on here. Thank you guys so much, and keep cool in this heat, y'all. Thanks. Bye.